wholeness. Haven't done this in a little while. This is a series I call Unbecoming the Signs. This is for people who are ready to work on their wholeness, which is a choice, versus people who only try and find definition within the system of separation. I'm not going to use the word illusion. Everything's an illusion on certain levels. So within this ideology of unbecoming the signs, this is how to figure out the relevancy of the 13 signs in the zodiac. We're just using standard Western astrology or whatever the hell they call the shit nowadays. So before you can figure out how the sign came to be, you have to figure out what created the journey. That is where you always hear me say source. Everything is source. Everything in this realm is source and separation. Source and separation from itself, playing out the identity of the possibilities and probabilities. I think I'm who I am, you think you're who you are, so on and so forth. So in unbecoming the signs, you have to figure out what source's role was in the separation. So the way this works is you always face yourself, and then you see what will happen if you buy into the ideology of the other signs, and then you have to face yourself again. So resonance only. I've done these probably for the last 4 or 5 years, but it's been a while since I've done it. Things are a little bit different now, so let's see what's going on from my perspective. So here's source facing itself. Basically, we'll call this the divine contemplation. This is the divine question of who am I? Only on the more extensive format of what can I be? It ain't so much who I am, it's what can I be? So source faces itself before there's any creation or divine identities. This is the precursor to identification. This is source, now gains awareness of self. Becomes a distraction. This is the queen of waters. This is the voice in the head. This is the sea hag. This is the 2 in the 8. The 2 is the connection, 8 is the struggle. At this point here, the distraction is when you now hear a voice in your head that is only going to show you struggle. So source before separation, when it had that possibility and probability of becoming the signs, it already knew that it was about to go through a struggle. 2 plus 8, the connection to a struggle shows you 10. The divine choice of separation. You're about to hit duality. Am I the 1 or am I the 0? Or am I all of the above? The answer is none. So it just becomes a figment of your imagination. So at that point where source faced itself, it got distracted by what it saw. And a lot of people do that. If you got kids that are like say in high school and they hit junior, senior year, and then the guidance counselor start throwing all these options at them. Well, what are you going to do when you graduate? Now that shit gets to be overwhelming because now, especially if you have an academic-based student, now they got offers from a bunch of different colleges. Don't let them be athletic. Now they got offers from colleges and all other kind of programs, and now they don't know what to do. You got too much choice. So that was the distraction of source. Too much fucking choice. And now the voices in his head now becomes the fucking enemy. Because, no, do this. No, do that. No, do this. Don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Overwhelmed. So at that point of separation, you become the one sign that most people really don't understand. The one sign that really is the first sign is Ophiuchus. Sorry. In my awareness, my perspective, my experience, Ophiuchus, the hidden one, is the first sign. You hide from yourself before you go down the journey with everything else. So Ophiuchus, the hidden one, means he's about to battle. He's about to become embattled with the struggle. So here is source facing itself as the sign, Ophiuchus. The fires. What are you going to be passionate about? Think about what I just said. You got all these choices in front of you. Hey, you're going to go to Duke, you're going to go to North Carolina, you're going to go to Clemson, you're going to go to South Carolina, or you're going to go to Trident Tech, local college. Which one got your passion? Which one got your passion? Whichever one you think is going to show you the greatest fire, that's where you're going to create. Unfortunately, think about what I just said. Whatever was the strongest possibility for you to make a gain is where you're going to give your energy. Ophiuchus is still struggling with where to go, but he's already, he or she, non-gender specific, source has already bitten to the ideology of creation. I'm going to give my fires in one of these thoughts. All these thoughts in my head, I'm going to pay attention to one of them, and let's see where it goes. So Ophiuchus still hiding from itself, and now is about to take Source on a journey. The first sign out of the 12 that most people understand is not Aries. Aries is already on fire. You have to understand where the fire came from. So it should be Pisces. Pisces is the foot. You about to come out of the waters. Holy shit. You about to come out of the waters. This was the queen of waters. Ophiuchus, where you hid from yourself. Pisces is where you're about to enter into separation. Two fish pretending to be one when there's really none. So Pisces, Source faces itself as Pisces. God damn it, the creatrix. The creatrix in reverse. It now doesn't see itself as enough, so it's going to create everything else. It birthed everything that was going to destroy it. You understand that? If you're already everything, but you get distracted by becoming something else, it is going to take everything from you to create something else, even when you call it a gain. So you're trying to create the plentifulness by taking the plentifulness out of yourself, which means you're now going on a journey for your plentifulness through your scarcity. Take your time with that one. So Source, facing itself as Pisces, only saw where it created a trick and it birthed everything that it's now going to have to go through. That is a bad thing, but it's becoming a common thing in this realm. Not even going to buy into that right now. But that's kind of like the unruliness of the realm, where the lower level or younger generations are not as mindful of the older generations, and it's only because the older generations didn't do what they're supposed to do. And I talk about that a lot. My generation, I'm 53. My generation and the ones before me failed the younger generation. And that's why shit is so unruly, because we expected change from something that was only changing us. And so here's the result. So you put yourself in separation when you should have held yourself together. So now Source has to face itself in separation. Aquarius. If you don't understand what I'm doing by now, with Spellbreaker, or basically Unbecoming the signs, you have to go backwards to find yourself. So Pisces comes first, Aquarius, Capricorn, blah, 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 blah. So now Pisces has split itself. Now it has to face itself in separation. Source faces itself in separation under the guise of Aquarius without understanding that it still has a higher level of potential. Still has a higher level of potential. It's the genie. It's the genie. It is now basically just succumbing to the thought. Remember, it separated itself trying to figure out which thought was going to be the strongest thought to think. Now that thought ain't going to do nothing but keep replicating experiences to keep Source caught in the game. Source becomes the genie. What is the genie? Granting a wish, but can't set itself free. Source in Aquarius can't set itself free because it's only trying to separate itself from its own separation. Take your time with that one. Separate yourself from your separation. Is that going back into yourself, or is that you going further into a psychosis? If you got any common sense, you would understand that you going further into a psychosis. Well, I didn't like who I was when I was 6, so I'm going to separate myself from that, and then I'm going to like who I was when I was 9, but then I don't like who I was at 9, so I'm going to go into something else when I'm 12. You 3 steps in, at the minimum. So Source in Aquarius is already caught in the experience, and it's the genie. It's the power plant. Why? Because it's only obeying the thoughts by giving its fire to what already told it. It wasn't going to do nothing but distract it. So Source now faces itself as Capricorn. Capricorn is affectionately known as the gods of thought. God or goddess, non-gender specific. When you're dealing with power components in basic astrology, you have Capricorn, which is the thinker, and you have Scorpio, which is the doer. Scorpio will destroy everything and get it done. Hi, Scorpio. So, in this sense, well, hey there, younger. So, in the sense to where Source faces itself as Capricorn, it is only trying to figure out which one of these thoughts, see, the duality is trying to figure out which one of these thoughts is going to set it free. What was the whole thing? The thoughts already told you, I'm just going to keep on making you birth things that ain't going to do nothing but keep taking your energy, because you already distracted. The voice in your head is your thoughts. So Capricorn, Source facing itself as Capricorn, is trying to figure out what to rule over. When at that point, common sense will say, I don't need to keep ruling over what's already distracting me. I just need to have better awareness of myself. But here's Capricorn, Source facing itself as Capricorn. Oops. That damn choice, the wheel of fortune, the Lilith energy. You're going to choose between enslavement or enslavement. You understand that? I'm going to choose between being bound and free. Listen at what I just said. Bound and free or bound and in servitude. Huh? You're going to choose between whichever one is going to show you more. The abundance. The wheel of fortune. You done already gave your energy. The wheel of fortune doesn't stop moving because that motherfucker in the middle won't stop using its wheel. Oops. So you keep using your willpower trying to fight these thoughts and figure out which one is going to show you the abundance, when the whole trick was, give me your energy. Give me your energy and try and find you, when the whole trick was, that's a distraction. So now you've already bitten to this struggle of trying to find your fire, Capricorn. You now become Sagittarius. Source faces itself as Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the hunter. What am I hunting for? My peace. What's my peace? Me without all the separation. So I already done it. So in the sense to where Source is now facing itself as Sagittarius, it is going on the best journey of self to find itself. And you hear me say this for about 10 years now. If you are going on a search party for yourself, as yourself, with yourself, through yourself, and to yourself, you don't know who the fuck you are. If you're going on a journey to find yourself, who the fuck are you? Source, going on a journey through Sagittarius, who the fuck are you? Oops, whatever you done filled your mind with. Them threes done created a trap. The king of air, what's already ruling over your mind, is now the queen of air. The thoughts that already got you trapped. And in my number system, 34 is the number for God, G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer. The thoughts to keep on generating your energy will have you trapped in what you are operating through, and it won't get destroyed until you learn how to be still. So Sagittarius, you're going on a journey to find yourself. You're going to keep on trying to find yourself in everything your mind get filled with, and as long as it's influencing you in your danger, you'll call it safe. That is what you hear me call safe mode. You're already at control, alt, delete. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to control what I can control, and I'm going to alter what don't make sense to me, and I'll delete what don't resonate, which will already keep me enslaved in the game. It keep you on that wheel of fortune. Why? Because you don't want your stillness. You just want to be less distracted by the shit that's filling your mind. Which means you now have to go back and face yourself as Ophiuchus. So in this one here, Ophiuchus, Source faces itself as Ophiuchus again. In between Scorpio and Sagittarius, if you look at star charts, Ophiuchus sits in between there. So even though we started with Ophiuchus, the distraction itself, Source has already put itself on a journey, and it now has an opportunity to sit still. It has an opportunity to sit still, but if Source does not sit still, it's only going to keep on going on a journey with that bullshit it thinks it knows. It's only going to keep on going on the journey with that bullshit it thinks it knows because it urgently has not found enough patience to stop being the leak. It's drowning in that same bullshit. It's drowning in that same bullshit, which means that it won't keep still. Remember I told you Source was as Sagittarius going on a journey? If Source is going on a journey and is fervently thinking that everything it done came into is what it needs to keep coming into, when it comes into something else, it won't stop. It will keep drowning itself because it probably done invested in something else coming to save it. When the only thing saving it was the same thing destroying it itself. Holy shit, God. So, it ran into itself in Ophiuchus, and it was still 1-4. Potentially trapped. What do you mean potentially trapped? Keep giving your potential to them thoughts that keep trapping you. So, once you hit that Ophiuchus point, and now you realize that I'm still the leak, this is where irresponsibility comes in, and this is where ego comes in. The inability to be responsible to yourself in sabotage means that somebody else did it, and somebody else knows how to stop this. Irresponsibility, expectations. So this hits the Scorpio point. When you build up too much expectations, and you build up too much irritability towards not seeing what you want to see because you invest in and getting it from something else, you hit vindication. You need validation, you need vindication, you need vengeance, you need death. You hit Scorpio energy. I'm a destroyer. Remember I told you there's two power components, Capricorn the thinker, and Scorpio the doer. If I'm trying to sit back here and be still, but everything else is moving me, the divine trick. Everybody else won't give me peace. No, you just ain't learned how to stop giving your energy. Try that. So the Scorpio energy is lack of accountability and always pointing the finger on somebody else. So if I can get rid of them, then I can be safe. So buy this or not, that's paranoia. So Source in Scorpio has a paranoia of getting rid of everything else so that I now can see me. I'll walk you back through that one in a minute because this card's relevant. Source in Scorpio, where it thinks it has to destroy everything else that it created. Oops, just get rid of the experience. If I lose everything that I already created, then I can be free. It's the genie effect. If I get rid of all of these thoughts that I keep thinking, if I can get rid of all of these thoughts, threes, that I keep thinking in my head, then it'll set me free. It is lack of accountability. Where do your thoughts come from? I'll just ask you that. See, the majority of you can't answer that on a awareness level. You'll only use bullshit knowledge. You'll use Freudian systems. You'll use some toxicity systems. You'll use your own traumas. You'll use your own need for your ego to be fed, but you won't use a sense of awareness. Where do your thoughts come from? Shh. So, in the sense to where I don't take accountability for where my thoughts come from, everybody else is accountable for what I'm thinking. Best example I can give you, and I give this one for years, take your ass in Walmart tonight. Friday night, right around turn-up time, not so much now since COVID, but Walmart used to be 24 hours. If you live anywhere near a hood, go on Walmart on Friday night and watch all that nasty-ass energy, and watch, if you have any level of fucking perceived clairvoyance in this realm, watch the inundation of everybody else's energy and your bullshit you call empathy. Sympathetic distraction. Watch how everybody else make you feel, ooh girl, I gotta hurry up and get out of here because it's nasty in there. No, it's nasty in there because it's still nasty in here. You've just been controlling the altar and deleting the things that make you feel safe, and now you've been placed in danger. But shh, let's not do that. So your Scorpio energy is telling you got to get rid of everything that's destroying you, but who fucking created it? Who created it? Who created it? So in your Scorpio energy, where your source facing yourself as Scorpio, you just want to get out of the experiences that you feel you are bound to, but the only thing keeping you enslaved is that you won't fight to set yourself free. Let history tell that. Oops. So what comes before Scorpio? The shit you call balance. Libra. Source now trying to find a balance with itself in this experience of separation. Idiocracy. Look at it like this way. I'm in a relationship with somebody who's a known cheater, and that motherfucker ain't gonna change. But I don't want to play their game, so I'm going to maintain balance and just stay in this relationship, hoping that one day they'll see my worth and treat me better. They're not going to treat you better because you didn't treat yourself well. You put yourself in a situation where you're already going to take losses, which means you only gave them the position to make gains, but your dumb ass going to call that shit balance. So Source only trying to find balance with the same shit that's destroying it. Self-sabotage. Oops. Faulty reasoning process. Faulty reasoning process. 32. Them thoughts done already told you what to connect to. Them thoughts done already told you there's two of us. And if there's two of us, you need to figure out which one you got to get rid of. So once that thought done already told me that one over there is dangerous while it's sitting there snickering, still taking your energy, you urgently gonna look at the one as the leak. And now it done filled your mind with all this bullshit. And now all that shit that's in your mind is what's abundantly got you moving on the wheel of fortune. And you thinking if I can make gains on that thought, then I can see less of that thought. And there'll be less thoughts to give my energy. But all the thoughts already got all your energy because you was already distracted by the thought in your head. Manchurian candidate shit. MK Ultra. Shit. Societal programming, mass media, social media, cognitive dissonance, Munchausen by proxy, Stockholm syndrome, common, uncommon, dumbass sense, monkey see, monkey do. So you're only trying to find balance with this shit here because it now sounds like proper reasoning. This is the element of air. It sounds like the safe thought to connect to. So it's the one that I'm going to keep on giving my energy to. So at this point, Source now faces itself as Virgo. Virgo is the recycle point. Virgo is the recycle point of energy. Only Virgo in this realm is the recycle point of energy, basically a reincarnation loop. Hit too much trauma, gotta reset. Hit too much trauma, gotta reset. Hit too much trauma, gotta reset. So if Virgo is only resetting with the trauma instead of setting the trauma free, the thought already won. The thought already won. So if Source can only keep you recycling your energy into thoughts that have already guaranteed to show you trauma, because your initial step was find yourself in it more than sit still and honor me. Yeah, it's a reincarnation. That's all reincarnation is. It's a reset cycle. It's a recycle of energy is neither created or destroyed, right? Because it's recycled fucking energy. There is nothing inside of your mind except for the same thoughts that you keep cycling through. You just keep putting fucking different values on them. See, my soul tribe been with me for 85 life cycles. That's because you're still stuck in the same thought. But it'll make you feel better about some other dumb shit that you read somewhere. So, your reasoning process only tells you that you're a Source, now caught in the motherfucking cycle. But it's the cycle's fault and not my own. The world upside down. The fucking phoenix. The creature of reincarnation itself. The creature of reincarnation itself. But what was the goal? Find myself as Source. Find myself as the goddess, the creation point for this. Only this is a duality trick, but we're going to use it. This is find myself as the goddess by understanding my phoenix. What did I tell you the trick of fucking Libra was? Libra was just trying to find a reason to keep everything I'm going through so it will show me a better me. That's trauma nurturing. That's trauma bonding. That's, I went through that experience and I ain't gonna never let nobody do me like that again because I'm gonna watch out for every sign that I saw in the last one, but I ain't fixed none of the fucking shit in me to help create the signs in the first place. That's 99% of humans, myself included, until you learn awareness and get out of that bullshit you think you know. So, if you out here just trying to use what burned me as what's going to help me, you a fucking phoenix. You are a being that willingly will burn and go through cycles of fires, hoping to put them out, only whoosh, pop back with them again. Pop right back up with them again and rejoice in the ability to do it all over. At that point, 2 + 1 is 3. The thought's already got all your energy. You've already connected to your potential. What's your potential? Which thought was the strongest one for me to see? But if the thoughts came from the thinker and now the thoughts are stronger than you, you weak as fuck. Unfortunately, no. The definition of chaos is order. The definition of chaos in hyper-awareness, beyond common shit from this realm, is trying to put things that naturally are into alignment. Oops. When you try, think about it. People have been saying this for years. When kids go to school, they get so imaginative and creative, and then they cut their bubble and they make them into a square by putting them in order. Order is an act of understanding. I need order so that I can account for everything that's there. Chaos has no real definition. Chaos in this room has a definition because it keeps order safe. Let's not do that. Some of y'all will never get there because you're too busy caught rejoicing in your phoenix cycles. So, you out here in this Virgo bullshit because you don't understand that you're really Leo. You're the power plant. You're the source. See, remember I told you, Source has to keep facing and finding itself in all these signs. But if Source only finds itself in these signs, in separation, but does not see its own wholeness, it's fucked. At this point, Source now sees itself in Leo. I gave all my power. But what's the thing with Leo? Ego. I gave all my power, energy. So ego is my energy that has been generated and operated. At this point, if Source only wants to take its power back, reclamation, I reclaim my time, all that other bullshit y'all don't understand. Let me borrow a hamburger. Holler at me tomorrow, reclaim it. You ain't gonna have nothing but a lump of shit. Such goes your energy. But you can lie to yourself all fucking day long. See, he wasted my time and I'm gonna reclaim my time and I'm not gonna. Okay, keep on reclaiming that dirty ass energy. That ain't what it means. No, that's what you just don't understand. Learn energy, not just your ego. So, you don't understand your ego, you just know what you've been fed by your thoughts. So, Source faces itself in the form of ego and now only sees the hurt of where it gave away its power. Oops, now I gotta transmute this shit. Alchemy, this is death. I'm gonna get rid of what I'm holding on to. What did I tell you? Libra is just holding on to things and trying to form a balance. What did I tell you? Virgo is holding on to things and trying to get to the end of it so I can go through it again and get a rematch. Leo is, I done held on to everything by creating it. Now I gotta see what I need to let go of. Stop creating it. You think you won't have to let go of anything because there won't be anything in creation. But I digress. You're going to alchemize it. You're going to transmute it. How are you going to transmute it? By using my energy. What was this about? Distracting your dumb ass so that you can use your energy. What does a thought want? Substantiation. What is substantiation? Energetic engagement. You mean all these thoughts want is my energy? Yes. Why? Because you asked the divine question. What can I be? It's not malicious. If you ask a thought, what I can become, and now you go to sleep and you have a dream and you become 35 things, that's not malicious. That's an answer to what you asked to see. That's a manifestation. So you only out here in your Leo energy trying to transmute the things that you're holding on to. But as I said earlier, if they're not holding on to you, why are you holding on to them? Why are you holding on to them? Because you're already distracted. And again, as I've been saying for years, alchemy is a trick because alchemy forces you to become a liar. Alchemy is changing things from what they are into what you, the alchemist, the illusionist, the magician, desires them to be. Let me hurry up. I got to get out of here. So with Leo, you only out here changing things from what they are into what makes you feel better. Stop changing them and be real. Stop trying to change people into what you want to be and just be fucking real. Or else you're going to realize you're your own cancer. Holy shit, Source sees itself as cancer, but it's a crab. You're right. It's a crab. It is eating and killing its own self by eating the scraps of everything that's already dead. It's already dead. Stop eating it. No, this is nourishment. So Source sees itself as cancer, but doesn't realize it's its own sickness. Oops. Chaos and order. Chaos and order. Kali Ma. The potential, 1 was at 6. My traumas. Potentially, the only thing I am is my traumas. Oh, if I'm my own trauma, maybe I should learn to be still and quote unquote heal me. That's a trick too. But you don't see that yet. So as you understand that I'm now my own cancer because the chaos is within me, you don't take the gift of understanding where chaos came from, the distraction. You're going to still try and fight the distraction and put it in submission, which means you're still operating in Gemini. See, I know where the chaos is at now, and now I'm going to fix the chaos. But sir, ma'am, it's within you. Yeah, I know. Now I got to get rid of it. But sir, ma'am, it is you. I know. I got to get rid of me. It's me versus me. Holy shit, Gemini. God diggity damn. I'm going to teach myself a lesson. You're going to fight yourself. You're going to move. Hierophant. You already know all the answers. They just ain't what you want to hear. So you're going to change the motherfuckers into what you want to see. Holy shit, alchemist. This is Archangel Uriel for some of you. He's the angel of earth. What's earth? Where you ground your energy out. You're going to ground your energy out and go into a lesson on how to move. You're going to manipulate yourself by trying to manifest the best experience that's going to work out for you. That's your Gemini energy, which means now you about to come into Taurus. You're going to end up sitting in your own shit. Source faces itself as Taurus because it's now stuck in its own shit. It's now stuck in its own shit. It is now still stuck in separation. This is the Abeji, the sacred twins, and it is now starring in everything that is the result of where it created too much, which took everything from it. So now Source is now starring in its own separate. It created too much, which took everything from it. So now Source is now starring in its own separate circle. You can't stop shitting on yourself, which means the only thing that's consistent in this fucking realm of cyclic energy is shit. Damn. Shit. Source now faces itself as Aries. It's back on fire. Holy shit, how'd it get on fire? Because I didn't see myself as enough, and I keep moving through my own chaos, keep trying to change it while I won't. Holy shit, how'd it get on fire? Because I didn't see myself as enough, and I keep moving through my own chaos, keep trying to change it while I won't change. Holy shit, how'd it get on fire? Because I didn't see myself as enough, and I keep moving through my own chaos, keep trying to change it while I won't change me, because my reasoning process says if I get rid of my thoughts, then I'll stop the leak and quit filling my mind with everything that's got me in separation, and it will show me how to make gains into everything I created by giving my energy to a distraction. Huh? Yeah, Aries, you on fucking fire. You on fucking fire. You have timelessly been pulled apart, hoping that everything that you pull yourself apart into will help you hold yourself together. Which means Source faces itself as Aries. It is now the only influence over why it can't move. The Queen of Earth. It's a tree, branched out, and now needs something else to support it, as it can't even really, on larger levels, support itself. The Angel Oak. Can't even support itself. Needs to be held together by everything it created. Which means it now is stuck. The Angel Oak. Can't even support itself. Needs to be held together by everything it created. Which means it now is stuck and has to face itself. But if you face yourself with idiocracy and ideologies that are not authentic to you, you don't face you. You just bring your traumas back into the game. So Source is going to face itself one last time, but it's with its traumas. I'll tell you that already. It's with its traumas. It is now only trying to find a way to dominate itself, what I tell you earlier, me versus me, by trying to figure out how to control its waters. The thoughts in its head had its waters. When Source faces itself after facing itself in separation, it is only going to want to dominate that damn snake. Knowledge, what it has learned in its own waters. What it helped create, it wants to figure out how to rule over it, because if I can't get rid of it, at least I can be the ruler. That is Split. That is that's the other movie with fucking Jet Li. I think it's called The One. And at the end, all these different versions of himself and everything else, they was all fighting. Can't get rid of them, so you might as well dominate them. That's how a lot of y'all are. I don't want to get rid of my traumas. I just want to be ahead of them and make my traumas work for me. Fucking idiocracy. Stop that shit. Real talk. So this was just step one. This was Source facing itself. Next one will be Pisces facing itself in separation, and we'll see how that goes too. No, the next one will be Ophiuchus facing itself. Wholeness. If I can get out of here. Sarai.